welcome back to my YouTube channel, Free to Bloom with Risa. My name is Risa and I am a young single woman from the great state of Texas. And so the purpose of this channel is for me just to give you information as far as better ways to plan for things, better ways to organize. And I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle type vlogs here and there. But today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite things in regards to finances. It's just been a complete game changer for me. And before I get into it, I do want to go ahead and mention, if you have not had a chance to subscribe, please subscribe. If you like what you see on this video, please hit the like button as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So sinking funds, for those who don't know, they're basically like small ways or small savings that you can have that allows you to pay for larger big ticket items, big items that you need. For example, we all know that Christmas comes around once a year. It comes around December 25th if you're here in the United States, and we know it comes around. Well, now we're in February, so now is a good time to build up some kind of savings for Christmas each week, each month, each time you get paid, to set up some kind of savings. Typically what people do is in the month of January, they set some kind of goal that they want to reach for a certain category. For example, Christmas. Best ways to have starting your sinking fund is to start maybe in the month of January, or start anytime throughout the year for that matter, and go ahead and set a goal. For example, you can have sinking funds for an emergency fund. I know a lot of people are on this debt-free journey inspired by Dave Ramsey, including myself, and so he always suggests having at least $1,000 worth of savings for an emergency. Something happens in your car, something happens in your home, or you can go ahead and set up an emergency fund for any kind of particular emergency that you think may arise. Now, of course, some things are unexpected, which is why I have, for me personally, an emergency fund, and I also have something what I call unexpected funds. And I'll get into that in just a little bit. You can also have a sinking fund for vacation. You know, if you know you're gonna take a trip somewhere, I know a lot of people, it's very limited right now with everything that's going on with coronavirus, but let's say you want to do some kind of staycation and you do something fun with your family staying in town. Or let's say if you're like me, I'm a teacher, so I'm usually typically off during the summer, and so I know sometimes my grocery bill can get a little bit higher because I am home. I am possibly consuming just a little bit more or buying things a little more frivolously, so I may want to set aside money for vacation and summer. And I do go ahead, for my sinking funds, I link those together, and I do have a goal for those. If I'm looking down, it's mostly because I'm looking at my notes as I'm talking to you, but I really hope that the things I'm sharing is very, very useful. Car maintenance, that's another thing that people like to set aside money for. Car maintenance, repairs, anything regarding your car, registration, state inspection, if you have state inspection in your state, things like that, oil changes. It's good to set aside some kind of fund for that. Now this is again separate from your emergency fund, and it's separate from any of your other funds. This is just solely for car emergency. The same thing for vacation, the same thing for emergency fund. It's solely for the purpose of that. So you don't want to get into a habit of dibble dabbling into your different sinking funds, because that sinking fund that you have in that category is specifically for that particular category. For example, for me, just yesterday, I had to go get some things done with my car. I needed oil change, I needed to get a state inspection, and there was an unexpected expense. There was, I needed a battery. I asked them, can you please check my battery? They did. I did feel like it was getting a little old. It was cranking up just a little bit different as far as my car. They checked the life of my battery, and sure enough, I was due for one. So good thing I had my car emergency savings fund. I was right there. And I will be honest with you, it was not quite at the number of funds or needed funds that were needed for my car. So guess what I did? I went to my unexpected, which had an abundance of funds in it, and I was able to take out of that. So I know I just said stick to that category, but because in my head, unexpected was for anything unexpected, I went ahead and took out of that. I hope that makes sense. Another thing is, I know a lot of you that watch my YouTube channel, you're moms. And so whether you're homeschooling, whether you are doing, regular public school or private school, kids are going to need things for back to school. And so, you might want to set aside a sinking fund for clothing, for school supplies, for homeschool curriculum, for particular office supplies that you may need if you're homeschooling, or maybe you're doing things with your kids at home. Just a way of school clothes, if I haven't mentioned that already, set aside back to school. Usually students start going back to school between August and September here in the United States. And so go ahead, it's still time, even starting now, go ahead and start setting aside a separate sinking fund for back to school time. You never know when things come up that kids may need throughout the year. You never know what the kids may need as far as things in the classroom before the school year starts, that's on their school supplies list, things that come up throughout the school year, like field trips, once things are lifted and we can travel, things like that. But maybe there's other things kids may need as far as fees or anything else they're a part of. They could be in some extracurricular activities where they're going to need certain things for basketball or for dance or gymnastics or something like that. So it's good to set aside a back to school fund and also like a school fund for your kids. Now myself, I am an educator, and so I do take out my own money and I buy things a lot for my classroom. This is something I've been doing for years. Honestly, I see it more as a ministry than anything else. I don't really mind. So I do like to plan and prepare for that. So I do set aside certain funds each month that I can put into my school fund for my students. Another thing that you can set aside money for is not only Christmas, but I will also set aside money or sinking fund for holidays. Thanksgiving comes up. We know we like to go out, but we like to have a big old feast for our family members and for our close-knit family and friends. And so why not set aside money for that extra expense of grocery bill that you're gonna have during that time? The same thing for Easter. I know a lot of people come and gather for Easter and they have a big dinner or a big lunch or something. And so go ahead and set aside maybe a Christmas fund. I keep mine together. I just put it together. And there's a way that you can track that as well. But if you want to put together like a holiday fund, sinking fund, and you want to set aside also a Christmas fund, you can do that as well. That is also something else you can do. Another thing is birthdays, gifts. Guys, if you're like me, you enjoy giving. You so enjoy buying gifts. I actually enjoy buying presents more than buying things for myself. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love to surprise somebody with a gift for their birthday, for a baby shower, for a wedding shower, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Go ahead and set aside a sinking fund for that. Even if it's like $5, $10, whatever you can do. I'm not going to tell you guys what kind of limit or what kind of amount to put in your sinking fund. Your budget, the way you do things in your finances, that is your business. You do what's best for you. I just want to be as helpful as possible because like I said, guys, this has been a game changer. I no longer have to figure out where I'm going to get money for this, where I'm going to get money for that. It's already right there for me to have. And I'll talk about in another video ways that you can track your sinking funds, ways that you can start a sinking fund, and just give you different ideas about that in another video. But yes, birthdays, I call it birthday/gifts because my sinking fund is for birthdays and it's for gifts. Like I mentioned earlier, it could be like for a wedding shower, it could be for bridal shower, it could be for baby showers. You already have money there that you can go ahead and take away from when those things arise or come up. Another thing that I have is giving. So I do have like a giving or ministry type sinking fund, things that like, yes, I know a lot of you are probably involved in ministries where you automatically give a certain amount each month or each week or things like that, but sometimes things arise or come up in which you may need to use that to, on a whim, if you see somebody that's homeless that may need a couple of dollars, or if you hear about a need in the community of a family that needs something, you know, you can have already access to your giving sinking fund to go ahead and give to that family or to that person. So it doesn't have to be just for Pacific ministry you always do, or you give to, or people you give to. It could be kind of like a unexpected thing, something, a need arises, you have the money to give to that person in cash. And again, it's giving. It's not something that you expect to get back. It's a gift. So you can do a giving sinking fund too, or for your church, or for any other charitable organization that you're part of. You can have a sinking fund for that. I'm not a homeowner yet, but I would set aside a sinking fund for my home. Just in case a dishwasher breaks, just in case you need to replace a washing machine, just in case you need a new fridge, I would set aside a sinking fund for that. If you know you're gonna need some appliances, some of your appliances look like they are getting a little old and that dryer is making that funny noise, go ahead and start you a sinking fund for that. You know, I mean, you can do that. Some of you are probably like, well, Risa, why can't I just take it from my unexpected or my emergency fund? Well, the emergency fund, eventually you want it to turn into something that you can have if there's a job loss in your family or something where you're not able to work. You want to have up to 3 to 6 months worth of savings for that. So for me personally, I would feel more comfortable just taking from like a home sinking fund for things like that comes up. You need a generator. As you guys know, in the state of Texas, we went through a massive winter storm that affected so many families. And so a lot of families were in deep need of repairs in their home. And so that's why I say, go ahead and plan for, not that you're trying to speak this to existence, like this is going to happen, but you want to just be prepared just in case. Another thing is medical. If you don't already have like a HSA or some kind of savings account, health savings account, you can set aside a medical fund just in case, you know, your child needs braces, or somebody breaks their arm, or you need to meet your deductible and something, or, you know, you need to do a copay in this area, you know, go ahead and set aside a medical sinking fund. So that way you're able to access those funds to pay for any kind of medical bills, or maybe even outstanding medical bills if you have it. So you want to just plan. I mean, things sometimes happen, we get sick, things happen sometimes. And so you just want to have something for medical just in case you need it. You need to go buy vitamins, you need to buy certain prescriptions. You have the funds there to have the money to pay for those particular things just for medical. Another thing is, and this is more like for the ladies, I enjoy a good old pedicure. I love a manicure whenever I do one. You know, maybe if I want to go get my hair done, it's like that. So I have a beauty fund, okay? I have a beauty fund. And ladies, if you're like me, you like to get pampered, you like to get massages, you like things like that, you might want to set aside, look, a little beauty fund. Again, you figure out the amount that you want to put into your little envelope or whatever you want to put your sinking fund of beauty into. Save that, so that way that's something that you already have. You don't need to feel guilty about anything. This is just for you, especially you mamas out there, as much as you guys do. I so believe in self-care. If that's your thing, girls, go do it. Go ahead and get that manicure, get that pedicure, get that hair did, whatever you want to do, but make sure you got the money for it. Don't be trying to go into your electric bill fund and trying to get that manicure. You take care of your priorities first, okay? Hear me out on this. Take care of your priorities first before you go out there and you do those other little fun things, okay? Not saying you need to deprive yourself, but make sure you have the money for it. So plan ahead. Another thing is, and guys, since you've been watching my videos, you know that I mostly pay for my groceries online, because I do curbside, I do delivery. But if you're a person that, you know, you do go in the grocery store and you do buy things, or you do go to restaurants and you dine in, I would have a sinking fund for groceries and restaurants if you so choose to. You don't have to, but if that's something that you want to do, so you have cash at hand, because Part of this is preventing us from overspending. It's helping us stick to our goals. It's helping us to save money where we need to save money. It helps us to purchase things unexpectedly that we need to purchase, or things we plan and we want to purchase. And so I would have a grocery and sinking fund. So these are just a couple of ideas. I'll try to link them down in the description box so that way get you an idea of sinking funds that you can plan for. This is not the all be all, the only sinking funds that you need to have, but it's something that will definitely help you for the future. And so I hope this video helped you a lot. Again, if you like what you see, subscribe. Please share. If you feel this is useful for other people, please share. If my eyes were going different places, I so apologize. I'm still trying to get used to the camera. And I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.